Ah, young love. Everybody wants to love and be loved in return. That's why you have all these Lifetime movies on falling in love. Why you have a weird amount of romance novels involving loving a hockey player. You also have all these dating simulators, from the kinky to the vanilla to the kinky again. What? I let that sink in. When video games came out in the 80s, it was mainly just adventure games or just ones of you going on a quest or just some puzzle games. If I had to guess when the scope expanded, it was probably when the creation of Sims came out. So many options and choices, and so many freaking DLCs. The game was basically like you playing House, only more death and more headless Barbies. I'm not apologizing. And with the home computer, handheld consoles, regular consoles, and smartphones, and all the new software you can use now, you now have a flood of dating simulators. Sometimes it's vanilla, sometimes a little gay, sometimes with a shark, or a furry shark. So, obviously, you have a market you can tap into. And of course, Netflix got in on it. They have their own catalog of games and dating sims, and an interactive. So why did you only make one of these? Yeah, today's interactive is Choose Love, Netflix's own dating sim interactive. Unlike the other interactives where it has one clear objective, this one isn't so clear. All the guys are nice, and not being the obvious bad choice. Starring Laura Marano as Cammy Conway, who is told by a fortune teller that she will find love, but has 3 bachelors instead of just 1. She is already dating one, but has 2 other guys show up, and you have to decide which one you want to date. I'm gonna butcher these names probably. You have Hogeo, Scott Michael Foster as Paul, and Jordy Weber as Jack. Okay, just one of them. Like most of these, you start out with a nothing choice, asking you if you want the good news or the bad news first. It doesn't really matter, just tells you about reuniting with someone from the past, and the bad news is giving a child courage or something. Cut to the adults version of the What's It game, and another nothing choice, to win or not to win. Nothing really happens here, they end up with the same choice. My only complaint is if these were real millennials, that would be a Cards Against Humanity party game. I would rather see the Netflix version of Cards Against Humanity. All this does is establish how some of the characters, especially Cammy and Paul, are very, very white. From this dance, to throwing a game to make your friends feel better, to the fact that you apparently have a smoke detector battery changing day. No, seriously.
Batteries. Smoke alarm day. It's tomorrow.
I mean, do you have a smoke detector battery changing day? And why do you need to change the battery? I never did, and the smoke detector is working just fine. But enough of that. Time to see Jack, but not before another choice. Shake off the bully's remarks, or beat the bully up. Well, there is only one way to deal with a bully. Both of them lead to Jack talking to Cammy, talking about saving the children, and then you get the choice of having a lunch date with Jack or not. I chose not to have lunch with him, mostly because those baby eyes are the eyes of a psychopath. But now we have to get to our job as a music producer, where our next choice is to either go easy on the boss or to start telling him off, and once again, the choices don't really matter here. It might just be like the Kimmy Schmidt interactive where the ends might just only be slightly different. Now this is where the choices start to matter, because if you said no to the lunch date with Jack, then you skip to the next choice with Rex when you and him are fine-tuning his song. But if you go on a date with Jack, you talk about your lives since he went back to Guatemala in high school. Eventually you get the choice and the right one gives you the second. So the first one is to mention Paul or to not mention him. If you let him know about Paul, he just invites you to the gala later that evening. But if you don't mention him, you have a chance to kiss him or cheat on Paul. Honestly, I say kiss the psychopath, because fuck Paul. He knows what he did. So if you decided against the lunch date, you end up here where you are going to be helping Rex record his new song, either by being nice or truthful. It's another nothing choice, just deciding if you are going to be the nice type or the truthful type. I haven't played this yet. No spoilers! The new song is recorded, Rex likes the redubbed version, and they start to head out and he wants to give Cammy his number. Question is, Do you keep it serious with your ex, or do you overshare and pour your heart out? Again, another nothing choice. Just depends on what type of girl you are. No spoilers! After some light flirting, Paul calls to disappoint us once again, saying he will be staying late that night. Even though last night he made the dinner plans for tonight. Fuck you, Paul. So Cammy talks to the couple about the fortune teller and the knight and the fool showing up, all while going out with the magician. This makes more sense in the interactive. When they let it spill that Paul is actually going to propose to her with a ring. But now you are getting a call from Rex who wants to record some more with you. But you are also conflicted. What do you do tonight? Go with Jack to his charity event, or record and hang out with Rex? Recording with Rex just deepens your relationship with him, even talking to his mother. The only choice you got to choose is if you kiss the fool. If you go with Jack to the charity event, you talk to each other about your lives while also looking at some sad and happy kids. This almost feels like that South Park episode where they make fun of those charities. You know the ones I'm talking about. But this leads us to the choice of helping with the charity and giving a starting bid or buying it outright. I am cheap, so I will start with $50. Either choice gets us closer to Jack, where he confesses his feelings for Cammy. And you can reciprocate that by either confessing yours or ending it right here. Both these end up the same way, and you can decide to kiss him or not. But now to get back with Paul. Tim texting plans for tomorrow night at an escape room. A little funny for them to go full costume for this, but this does give us two choices while we are here. The first is a nothing choice having to do with the escape room. Either choice gets you the key to the trunk and gets you the coat where the ring is hidden in one of the pockets. Cammy tries to hide it, but Paul sees and starts questioning her. Next choice involves you mentioning Jack or Rex or not. The name changes depending on who you ended up with last night. And now you are officially on a break from Paul. Hooray! Going to sleep that night, Cammy has a wet dream where she's with 3 guys at the same time. Paul, Jack, and Rex. Each offering her a reason to choose them. Paul with the home life, Jack with the humanitarian life, and Rex with the rockstar life. I chose Rex because one is a psychopath and the other is Paul. Or you could choose the fourth option, the ugly bastard. So this is about the halfway point. You can choose between the 3 guys, and this is where the paths kind of diverge from one another. You could still go diverge from choosing the one guy and swap to another guy at certain points, or depending on if you went on that lunch date with Jack, you could just end the game at her asking for a raise. But if you go with Jack or Rex, after waking up, you could go and ask for a raise or quit. Again, if you never talk to Jack, taking that raise ends the interactive right there. You quit, you instead go to his office and explain the situation to him, and he is weirdly understanding about it. He tries to pull her back, but lets her go, wanting her to stay on break and get more clarity. So going with Rex, you get on a plane and start playing Truth or Dare. You get to choose your punishment and then his. For the truths, she reveals why she is afraid to sing, because of a bad performance at a wedding, and him, his most embarrassing tattoo. For dares, it was not knowing the concept of time and doing a half-assed Swan Lake dance. Excuse me, we are adults here. Show some weird dares. Take your pants off! After the very vanilla Truth or Dare game, you find out you are going to Vegas now instead of San Francisco, since one of the bandmates is having a baby. Congrats. Another choice, Jack is performing at a venue, small venue. He wants Cammy to sing backup. To sing or not to sing, that is the question. Depending on the choices you made, you may not be able to take it back. On the other hand, with Jack, you drive to Las Vegas with him, and you get a little more insight into him. He's not looking to have kids, at least not yet. The only choice you have to make on the way is what kind of pose you want to make for the camera. Just another sign he's a serial killer. Check that memory card! Cut to the protest at the Las Vegas hotel, and surprise, 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 Rex is here. He spots Cammy and gives you another chance to either stay with the protest or perform with Rex. The same thing happens if you are in the car with Rex. I am Team Rex all the way. If you go with Jack in either scenario, you have one of 3 options that are possible. First is Paul shows up and spots you, and now the big decision, do you go with Paul or Jack? Going with Paul now, you smash cut to getting married in Vegas, with Rex and friends via FaceTime, which, Vegas wedding, the costumes are peak. And if you go with Jack, you could decide to go with Jack or yourself. This is the game's subtle way of getting you many outs from Jack, because he's a psychopath. If Cammy ends up with herself, she just does this.
Well, that was the high point of my day. Guess I'll go gamble.
And if you go with Jack, it's an ending. But the true one is if you go with Rex. And you get to the suite where Paul gives you a call. Choice time. Take the call or don't take the call. Not taking the call just gets you to the wardrobe and choosing the sexy dress or the hot dress. If you do call Paul, some scenarios he's at the hotel, others he's at home. It gets confusing on how he knew to go there. I think it's if you mention Jack to him in the protest he is doing at any point. That's why he shows up, otherwise he has no reason to be there other than being a stalker. So now we are near the end. Jack performing at the venue, and depending on the choices, he could be performing alone, could be performing with you, Paul could be in the crowd and see Cammy work, the final choice being with Rex of choosing to go with him or not. Going with him lets you go to Paris, and not going with him just ends up with Paul coming at you with a baseball bat. If Paul is there in Vegas with you, you just go to the wedding, and at the end of it all, you could go to either the dream or another point in the movie, and that is choose love. Oh wait, small Easter egg here. Small Easter egg here, if you ended up with all three guys at some point, this cute little dance number of them dancing on the plane in their fortune teller outfits plays. Honestly, this is the most fantastical they are going to get here. So I have some thoughts. Why didn't they make more of these? Say what you want about the budget. Netflix never discloses their metrics on their movies and shows, but I could guess. So most of these interactives for the kids shows, like say Barbie Epic Road Trip, is about 2 hours. This includes Easter eggs, different branching paths, and endings. So we will low end it and say it's about 2 episodes worth. And taking from another show's budget, say that Miraculous Ladybug show, they had about $9 million for season 1 for 26 episodes. Sources put the budget at about $350,000 to $500,000. So I will meet halfway and say $400,000 per episode. So theoretically, each animated interactive movie costs at least $800,000 to $1 million per interactive. And an average Lifetime movie are less than $2 million. And if we double that, it adds up to probably at least $2 to $4 million for this. So I can see why they didn't make more of these. Plus, while editing this video, this interactive was boring. I have a slight leaning for animation since they could do literally whatever they want. You just need someone to voice it.
Today's the day it shall be mine! Give me your love nectar!
But this just felt like a slightly spicier version of a Lifetime movie. Or worse, a Hallmark movie. At the very least, the men had different personalities and bodies. I think the other complaint can be said by this girl.
Does that make me a bad person?
Oh, Cammy, you couldn't be a bad person if you tried.
Cammy is never in the wrong. She can flip-flop on the guys as much as she wants and they never call her out on it. The only one I see do anything other than I support you is Paul, showing a little anger. And mind you, I hate Paul. But I can see why they didn't do that. You don't need to give the incels more fuel. I do like that the choices did have some significance. Just on a first run, you don't know which choices are which. So choose love. Was it the most exciting? No, I kept falling asleep. Was it the most immersive? No, the ones that I get meta really have my heart. The only meta this has is when Cammy or even the other characters are doing the fourth wall break.
No turning back now.
Or is it? Maybe you'll see it differently next time. I hope so.
Did you pick him because he's so damn good looking? Looks are the first thing to go. Anyway, remember that next time.
Do I tell him about Jack?
Yes.
You heard that?
Was it innovative? I would have to say yes. This one, I think, was the only one of the interactives built for the woman's fantasy. This is basically a reverse harem anime. A bad reverse harem anime, but still one. The animated ones are mostly geared for kids. That Undertaker one had WWE fans and boys in mind. This one, I can acknowledge at least tried something new. A dating simulator. It is probably one of the sadder interactives to be taken off. It came out in 2023 and didn't get even 2 years before coming off. And unlike the other shows that have shows or fan bases to keep it alive, this one had none of that. It's an entirely original story and characters, and unfortunately are too bland and boring to transcend beyond that. So Choose Love started with the interactive and ended with the interactive. Choose love. I wouldn't choose you when searching, but you deserved better. Trying to figure my schedule out since starting my new job and editing these things on the side. Still need a week to edit these. You know the drill. Go to the left for another interactive, or the right for something anime related. That Fukusaki anime got a dub, so I can review that pretty soon. Still need holy water after watching it. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. If you need me, I will indeed becoming a real trash panda. Get over here, Cam! You too, Sink! Let him in!